And I have to number 2.
All right.
I think we're live, huh?
That playback sounded like a pull string doll.
That's what they call me, the human pull string doll.
I would.
Where?
You know what?
Where
I
do
would
they call you
love a Matt Cole pull string doll.
Pull my string.
Honestly, I would love a me pull string doll. Like you pull the string and it says period.
Write that down for the next Trips apartment show with Forrest.
Child, whenever that's gonna be, because Forrest is in Quantico, Virginia, with no communication to the outside world. So, you know, I did say like the upside to Forrest doing that training is like I know that when you're done with 13 weeks of training, because they don't really eat junk food either. I was like, his body is going to be impeccable.
Yeah, really. Yeah, he's gonna be in great shape.
I mean, not that he wasn't already in great shape, but you know what I'm talking about.
It's gonna be fine tuned. It's gonna be even better than it was.
Yeah. So it's gonna be in great shape. But anyways, and also there's also like the pandemic thing that's going on. So but one thing I do like to tell people is that I've been the sketch again in Tampa Push Comedy Theater for April, May, June, July, August for 6 months now.
Yeah, you're fucking crushing. You beat Keys. You did it longer than Keys. You've usurped him.
Who got the track record? Okay, the longest running sketch beginning champion. Like, listen, off of one set. I need a pushy for that. I need one of them dog toys. Brad and Sean hooked me up with one of them dog toys for being the longest running sketch beginning champion.
Are we allowed to talk again?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, my dad called me, so I was
You can talk, but it's going out over the live stream, just so you know.
Oh, well, good thing I wasn't saying anything horrible.
Yeah.
It was just banter.
Let me just talk some shit real quick.
Be brutally honest with us.
Did you guys know that Jeff Ballou does animal sacrifices? Ding, 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 the more you know.
As long as they're all Canada geese, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I don't know. I could never get the words out of my mouth. Jeff doesn't seem like the animal sacrifice type.
Yeah.
Exactly that person.
Yeah, I feel like animal sacrifice would be too much work for Jeff. Jeff seems like the type of person that doesn't do a lot of work.
Yeah.
I swear that's not shade.
Well, it's just animal sacrifices, as in he sits on them.
Molly, save this for the roast. Save this for your next round in the roast.
I don't know who I'm roasting the next round.
I think you're up against Jordan. Who is your opponent? It's going to be either you or.
Well, actually, it's gonna be neither one of us. I talked to Matt Holman and I was like, I don't mean to be like, I am so sorry, Matt Holman, but like I am really busy right now, and like I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to like do the URC bracket. And Matt Holman was like, oh, me neither.
Oh, great! So you guys will be
on
the same footing when you go against.
So it's gonna be neither of you.
It's gonna be neither of me. It's gonna be so you move on to whoever Trip goes against. So you're either gonna go against Trip, Candace, or Brian.
I love that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go through my story one more time. You're at that.
Like I feel so like, and it's like I spoke to Austin Johnson the other day, and it's like every time I plan to work with Austin Johnson, like the project just completely falls through and never like ends up coming out.
Yikes.
And it's like it's not even intentional. It has, and honestly, like it has nothing to do with either me or Austin Johnson. Like I love Austin Johnson. I didn't know that we were like the same age. But like that sounded so shady. That's not shade. That's not shade. Oh my
You
God.
guys, I mean, on paper, you guys are opposite people.
Yeah, and so it's like you know, I just always equate people who are dads as older. So like
Yeah.
so it's like, but you know, like he has I think one daughter, two daughters.
I would like to say for the Facebook Live, everyone who has a kid is a bad person.
But like, yeah, I really like Austin Johnson, and like hopefully we'll be able to like work on something that doesn't like end up falling through.
I believe in you.
Yeah.
I believe I can fly.
I
Child,
believe
now that I think about it,
touch the sky.
I think about it every night and day.
I spread my wings and fly away.
girl, we don't sing our kind of
I believe I can soar. See me running through that open door. I believe I can fly. I can fly.
Crushed it.
Show off.
Matt, Molly is trying to get us canceled. She's on here singing R. Kelly.
Oh
Okay,
fuck!
but here's the thing.
I forgot about that whole
song I used to sing in my Catholic school choir. This is getting worse.
Baby.
Hey, 'cause I believe in me.
Wait, hold on. I'm gonna put my disclaimer up while Molly's
That
singing R. Kelly.
I could not go on. That life was nothing but an empty song.
God, you got the
If
vocal.
I can dream it, then I can do it.
I can do it. I can do it.
If I just believe it.
I just believe. I just believe.
There's nothing to it.
Nothing to it.
I believe I can fly. We do have the same hair, Matt.
We do. I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it.
Me too.
Twitch appears to not be working.
Good.
Well, there
that's
goes
a
my
good
fucking
website anyway.
$19 a month.
I use Twitch sometimes, but like not for real, for real.
Let me check the old restreams here.
You got 2 minutes to get it fixed, Cole.
Molly, how does my skin look? Is it good? It's good.
I love
Yeah.
pressure.
Okay.
I put the filter on, the Beautify filter on.
Yeah. Same.
Me
There's
and
a
Jay
Beautify
were all
Zoom
about
filter?
it. Yeah, there's
Oh.
a filter. You said I have 2 minutes.
Yes.
148.
Okay, I'm gonna go pee pee and cut my toenail. I'll be right back.
Sounds like a plan.
I got a hangnail. It's driving me crazy.
It should be on now, Brian, or very shortly. There was a bug, and Restream, I guess, is worth the $19 a month. All right, 2 minutes, everyone. Break a leg. Thank you, guys. Go ahead and turn off your cameras. Let's do this. Molly, turn off your camera, Molly. God.
Molly's
She had to
gone.
leave. She had to go.
Why did she leave her camera up when she left?
Actually, about that, I gotta go too. I gotta take some long exposure photos, and I'm gonna have a couple kids, and I'll be back.
Yeah, no problems. No
Oh,
problems.
you can cut her camera off, can't you? As the host?
Yeah. God, I hate to do it, Molly. Don't make me do it, Molly. Turn off your camera, Molly.
When do I turn it back on?
When you're introduced.
Oh, so I got a while.
You do have a while.
Sweet.
But we're going to go ahead and start the show. You ready, Brian? Hello and welcome to Earprov.com's quarantine live stream series. My name is Matt Cole. I am your host for this evening. I cannot wait to begin this show. Welcome to Real Funny. Real.funny. Because every performer you see tonight is telling a real story or just giving something real about them. It's nothing like stand-up comedy except for like there's one person at a time, I guess. And actually sometimes it's not even going to be funny. It's just going to be, I don't know, poignant. But you are in for a wild ride tonight. We have 5 different performers all throughout the night. You can generously donate to Black Lives Matter Global Network by going to streamelements.com/earprov/tip. I actually have the name right up there if you forget. And all throughout the night, oh, look at that. Oh, thank you so much, Jai. Or Jay. I don't know if you're pronouncing your name right. All throughout the night, if you like the stream, you'll get a Nick Cage from Con Air, Cameron Poe, one of my favorite movies, winking at you. Also, if you, like the stream, if you share the stream, you will also get a Nick Cage, Cameron Poe winking at you. And when you donate, so let's see, a donation from last month's show, you'll get this down at the bottom here, itty bitty pity shit. Okay, I clicked the wrong one. Okay, but donated $5 from last month. Our goal is to get $500, and I think we can make it tonight. I'm talking way too much. I feel lonely out here. So ladies and gentlemen, I couldn't do anything without him. He is my rock. He is my one true love, my co-host and co-producer of Go On Productions. Welcome to the stage, Brian Garraty.
Matt freaking Cole, what's going on? Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you great, Brian. You look great, by the way.
Thank you. You can't see my abnormally large nose tonight. It's nice.
Yeah, I don't get why people like rag you for your nose. I think your nose is perfect, but I may be biased.
I had to upgrade the nose slot of this mask. This is supposed to be one size fits all noses, but I had to go to a specialty shop.
And if you don't know, Brian actually was on a friend of the show, the Ultimate Roasting Championship, produced by Casey Kennedy and Austin Johnson, and you can find it on Facebook. And they do roast battles, and I was very surprised that like people were calling out your nose. I honestly don't think it's that big. I would go more for your lack of shoulders if I was roasting you.
The only place I've ever felt like my nose wasn't big was at a family reunion. I did get the good jeans for nose in a store that had no good jeans. Yeah.
So speaking of family reunion, Brian's dad is actually at Brian's. Well, that's not the big deal. He's at Brian's house right now. That's why he has the mask on, because he's actually going to be performing. I think in the 3rd slot tonight, and he's performing an original song. I'm not lying. I'm so excited about this show. There's a lot of talent, a lot of fun. If you're wondering what the show is about, it's based off a show that Brian has seen, and we actually watched online virtually called Uncabaret. It's a little bit like that. What else is this show like, Brian?
It's also based on a show I went to in Chicago called Paper Machete. This is like a mix between storytelling, stand-up, and a variety show. We reach out to different artists, some of whom aren't even comedians or don't think of themselves as comedians, but we know them. We know them to be really funny. We encourage them to develop some new material for this show based on what's going on in their life right now, what's going on in the world right now. Whatever they're inspired to do, and we give them 5 minutes, and the first one went really well, and I'm feeling really good about tonight as well.
Yeah, and this is Brian's baby. This was Brian's brainchild, and I love the idea of the show. It's our only second one. The last one was really successful, and I think, like you said, it's going to be a great night tonight as well. Brian, if you go ahead and point to your right and like kind of lower right corner, there's but raise up so you can see. There you go. Yeah, perfect. That's right. So right now, Brian's pointing to the top donations. We've been doing these live streams for the past, I guess, since March. Because we are students and teachers and lovers, not together, but lovers of the Push Comedy Theater. on Granby Street in Norfolk, Virginia. And right now it's shut down because it's not safe due to COVID. They tried actually doing outdoor shows, which were a success, but due to regulations in Virginia, they just couldn't do it anymore. And we think that that's a bummer because there's so much talent from the Push Comedy Theater in the Hampton Roads area. And the people that Brian was pointing to, those are the top donations ever that have donated money. So if you want to try to top that, I think that the number one is us, I think, at 150. But a lot of generous people have donated to Push Comedy Theater $100,
Keep one thing
$120.
in mind. Tonight's the one Friday of the month where we take a break from raising money for Push Comedy Theater, and we raise money for something that we think is important going on in the world. And tonight we are all donations received are going to go straight to Black Lives Matter through their national network, through the Act Blue site, so we know it's legit.
Right.
All your money will be going to a really good cause. And I don't know if you like us, you recognize that there's not much else in the world more important than that right now. So we're happy to do a little part to try to raise some money for them. Fuck
yeah. Well said, Brian. And yeah, we choose once a month. We're choosing Black Lives Matter this month. We may even do it next month. It's really important to us right now. It's really important to the community. And so we would love if you donated, just like Eva donated $20. Yes. Thank you. So yes, we are, I can't do math. 1/20th of the way. I can't do math. 1/20th of the way to the goal. Anyways, so we're gonna reach $500 to donate to Black Lives Matter tonight. I don't want it to take too much longer because we're gonna get to the stories. But Brian, I think you actually had a couple of beach stories this week. What was going on in your week?
I've had some pretty wild beach experiences in the last couple of weeks. The beach is one of the only places I feel safe outside of my own home. I feel safer there than I do at the grocery store. So I've been going to the beach, one or two evenings a week to watch the sunset. And last Thursday, I was having a really great time. There was a couple friends in the water near me, and we were just catching up and enjoying some company. When all of a sudden, like 3 schools of minnows just freaked the fuck out and all start jumping out of the water at the same time, startling us a little bit to where we were paying attention. And then all of a sudden, something huge swiped 2 of my friends on the leg, and then it came to the surface, and I saw it. And ladies and gentlemen, it was a shark.
No way.
Yes. And I've spoken to a good friend of mine who's on the show tonight.
Yeah.
Who's a Chesapeake Bay expert. And she 100% says it's not a shark.
What?
But I'm here to tell you, I saw it, and it could have been a shark.
It was
big.
Whatever it was, I've never been close to that much sea life in my life. I've never even gotten stung by a jellyfish.
Now, none of us panicked. Not one of us panicked. But not one of us was in the water still 11 seconds after that happened.
So I think, but then you had a really good experience, I think just maybe last night or the night before. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so did we let that stop us from the one enjoyable thing we can do this godforsaken year?
No.
We did not. And I'm proud to report that we went back last night.
Yes.
We braved the shark-infested waters. And all of a sudden, we were in the water, and we were kind of like moving our arms. And our arms turned glowing green.
From radioactivity, or what was it?
From bioluminescent algae.
I still don't know what that is. You showed me a picture.
It was the most bizarre thing I've ever seen in my life. You could move the water with your hands like you do.
Yeah.
And it would turn fluorescent green. Now, if you took a picture of it, my Chesapeake Bay expert is messaging me. They're called dinoflagellates.
Flagellates.
Either that, or she's making me say a word that isn't a real word. We took pictures of it that turned out blue.
Yeah.
But if you were there in person, it was green.
Oh wow! I think dinoflagellates are microscopic animals. I think. Pretty sure.
Is that what you learned in marine biology? So we stayed in that water all night last night.
Yeah.
Just thrilled to be swimming in fluorescent water, naturally fluorescent, not through any sort of nuclear waste. and once again felt safe in the waters. So I'd say that's a success story.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that. I actually really think it's like it encapsulates the pandemic, where there's terror at right around the corner, even at the grocery store. But then there's also to get corny, a lot of beauty. And thanks for not inviting me.
You know what my favorite thing about the beach has been this summer?
That I'm not there.
No, it's when somebody who hasn't been there before.
Yeah.
Ask me if you're coming.
All right.
I'm like, Matt Cole wouldn't even come to the beach at night because the moon might burn him.
Okay. All right. Let's we've yacked on for way too long. Thank you, Brian. Brian's gonna be in the chat on Twitch and YouTube and Facebook. He's gonna ask for some suggestions and questions in a little bit. So thank you, Brian, for moderating that. Let's get to our first guest of the night. He went last in the last show, and he is a hell of a person. He's a great friend. Let me actually properly introduce him. Ladies and gentlemen, Trip Rumble is a comedian by night, engineer by day, and Virginia ABC liability by choice. He makes short films with Nothing But Burns, creates sketch comedy with Sketch Me Like One of Your French Girls and Kamikaze, takes classes at the Push Comedy Theater, and socially distances in Ghent, Norfolk, and wears his mask to the Olive Garden when he's jonesing for those Captain Crunch Oops All Berries owned by GE. Hashtag eat fresh. Follow Captain Rumble on Instagram to keep up with his eclectic smattering of creative projects and top off his self-worth. Everybody at home, give a huge, huge round of applause for the man of the hour, I guess, the top of the hour, Trip Rumble!
Thank you. That status is funnier on Facebook because everything's tagged.
I know. Give me a better bio next time.
I spoke to the shark.
All right, take it away, Trip. You look great, by the way.
All right, thanks, buddy. All right, so during this pandemic, a lot of us have been a lot more bored than usual, I'm sure, myself included. I don't really talk a lot about what I do for a living in my comedy, but I am a mechanical engineer for the DoD, which is a lot of fun when we're able to go outside and do hands-on stuff. Not as much fun when we're at home hunched over on a computer all day. And I also want to preface this story by saying I'm usually seen as a very immature person in the workplace, both in age and demeanor. I've received a written complaint before because I called someone dude and man, which was fun to read until I realized how angry they were. For some reason, I'm the only full-grown, fully employed employee who is CC'd on the email among the interns about what drunk shit they got up to every weekend. And a few times when my team all goes out to lunch, at the end, they just have one guy, pay for it and everyone Venmos that person. When it's me, they go, oh, we should get Trip to put it on his card. Trip, you can use that to get points on your credit card. I'm like, yeah, I know, I'm 30. I've been an adult for 12 years. I got that, but everyone thinks I'm a kid, and this story has not helped that image. So I've been doing a lot of computer work, hunched over, unhappy. I've been testing this database, meaning that I have to enter in fake information and then see what that does with it. So I gotta, if it's a thing about how much money Frank makes or pays to the ship or whatever, I have to type in, all right, Frank pays $1,000, click, okay, click. And the instructions for the testing always say something like, press the OK button. If it works, put a check mark here. If it doesn't work, put your comment over there. And that hurts your soul after months of doing that. So I just kind of did whatever I could to keep myself sane. You drink a lot of water, you kind of type whatever you want, you just chug along. And then I had coworkers messaging me like, hey, you should come to this meeting where we review your testing. And I'm like, I know I'm not really in those meetings. I don't really think. I've got a lot of other stuff to do. I didn't. But you should really, but I just didn't want to be a part of those. Finally, they broke me and they said, all right, we know you don't do anything during this block on Thursday. I'm like, all right, fine, you got me. So we're in this meeting about the testing that I've done, and then it dawns on me that they've been seeing what I've been writing for these people's names, jobs, reasons, ship names, stuff that's been breaking. and it's not. No one was mad, but some people were concerned because they would go over and they would say, "Well, let's check the transfer system here." So as we can see, there was a Trip wrote here a problem. The person he entered here, Mr. Poo Poo Pee Pee, was not able to complete his transfer process for his vessel. It says here we put in the reason was who cares. And that's like a little embarrassing, but there's all sorts of this. They had a whole list where they would go through each one, and all the names were like Poo Poo Pee Pee, Testy McTest, Trip Rumble, Frip Rumble. I would like combine my first name with other people's last names, which is weird. But it's just running on fumes. And then of course all the ship names were named stuff like the SSC Plower, like the Saint Anne, the Jetsons boat. I don't know. Not a lot of great stuff, and you could just. We're all in conference audio only, so I can't see anyone's face whether or not they think this is hilarious or they just don't care, or like I'm about to get many more written complaints. But they were just like, all right, yeah. So, Mr. Trip, you were having problems with all these fake user accounts. Were you able to, resolve these things as the admin test account? I said, I was having problems with the admin test account too, yeah. And they're like, yeah, so you were using our Rumble? And I was like, no, I wasn't using my admin test account. I made one. And they're like, what's the admin test account under? And I feel like it's under Garfield bin Laden. And they're like, okay. So I've never seen someone type Garfield or bin Laden into a search box before at work or at home, but that was a first. And they find this. And no one's saying anything, and they're like, all right, well, let's read Mr. Rumple's feedback on this stuff. And when you do a lot of bug testing, you get angry because sometimes people don't fix the shit that you told them to fix 1,000 times already. So now we're going through all the angry messages I've written about Poo Poo Pee Pee and everyone else. Like, I tested the Poo Poo account 5 times, and no one responding to this, no one's fixing this. No one's helping the SSC Flower. If that was a real ship, that'd be bad. And like, yeah, I feel like Garfield bin Laden is powerless. And I didn't mean to type this right after that. That's just kind of how it flows. And I wrote, if none of you will take this seriously, I don't know why I'm on this beta testing account. And no one has said anything to me from that team since. So that's been my latest adventure in this pandemic at my desk.
Yes! All right. Oh, Trip, you jokester.
That's a story I've never told.
There's actually, when we get to Jordan, he also may get fired from tonight. So I love that people are so they feel so safe on this live stream. That's only going out to 3 different live streams. What are you drinking there, Trip?
This is just water right now.
I've
still got my teeth whiteners in. When those come out, I'm gonna attack my mouth with vanilla porter. But now,
also we have to. I thought this was gonna be a part of your piece, but what's all the blue behind you? What is that?
This is I used to have like a normal grown-up office chair, and then a friend of the theater, Anna, helped me move into this current apartment that I'm in. As you can see by me caressing this wall, and she brought in this chair because when we were working on something together, she needed a place to sit. And then I had too many chairs for my place, so I threw away the other one because that wasn't colorful. Turns out this one, when you're kind of just being immature and scraping your chairs as well, there's a lot of blue on this wall. This is the tip of the blue iceberg right here.
It's probably gonna get to a point where you need to just paint your walls blue, Trip. Let's be honest.
It looks like this looks like the wall of a frat house from all like the denim leftovers of people grinding on the wall at parties.
Yeah, like maybe a Smurf frat house where people like I don't know.
I don't know what the Smurfs are doing that their goo's getting up here,
but thank you so much for being on the show, Trip. I think you can switch to vanilla porter in just a little bit. Everybody home, give a huge round of applause for Trip Rumble. Yes. And I also need to applaud a few donations. And once again, all your donations are going straight to Black Lives Matter, the global network, the official Black Lives Matter fund. Thank you so much to Danielle. Danielle, yes, $20, love it. And also thank you so much of Lemon Pepper and Sazone, Donna Lewis, $15. Thank you. And do the math for me. You're like in a government job trip, and you went to like engineering school. $55 out of 500. What is that percentage?
That is a little. That's like 11%.
Yes.
No,
okay. Once again, Trip Rumble nailing it. Thank you.
You need a fake name? I can do that.
Garfield Bin Laden. Okay.
It is 11%. I got it.
Go away, Trip. We'll see you at the end of the show. Thank you so much. All right. So we're gonna move on to our next guest. Brian Garraty is moderating in the chat right now. This is when we had our pitch meeting on Wednesday. This blew my mind, and I didn't think he was serious, but he is. So we're actually gonna have some live animals on the show. I don't want to give away too much, but let's actually. And thank you, Alex Weller, for liking the stream. Alex, you rock. We're actually on to our next guest, and he is a friend of Brian and I's. If that makes any grammatical sense. Jorge Mendez is an author, musician, and spoken word artist based out of Hampton Roads, Virginia. He has also been the standing host of the weekly Monday night open mics at The Venue since 2012. In March of 2016, George published a book of his works titled Keys and Crowbars, released on San Francisco Bay Press, followed by Candy and Rigor Mortis in 2018, which he co-authored with J.T. Williams. Currently, he is working on his annual backyard Halloween haunt, which I can't wait for because I love Halloween, and it's called Gloomhouse. Ladies and gentlemen, give a huge round of applause at home for Jorge Mendez. Take it away, George. You look great.
Hey, everybody. We've got some live animals in the house today. We are broadcasting from the Ghoulish Garden in the Gloomhouse Haunted House. Our first animal this evening, you may recognize from Brian's story. This is a bioluminescent Chesapeake Bay shark. His name is October. October keeps trying to make his way across the table because over here he sees what we call tortoise chocolate. Tortoise chocolate is actually, forgive me, shark chocolate is actually just hibiscus leaf. He is not interested in this hibiscus leaf. Not one little bit, it doesn't seem. Say hi, everybody. This, can you see him? There we go. He's not usually out of his pen very much, so he's out exploring and trying to figure out what this big giant screen is in front of him.
Wow.
What October really is a Herman's tortoise. We find these in the Mediterranean. He's probably about half the size that he'll be once he is full grown. He is very, very eager to get out of my hands and back into his pen. So we're going to move on to our next animal.
Nice.
Our next animal tonight is a ball python. This is Basil. Basil is what's referred to as a normal or a royal python. We find these in the jungles of Africa. They are a semi-arboreal snake. They will burrow, but they do like to spend some time up in the trees. The normal coloring you see has got a little bit of gold in there and some black. The reason they're also referred to as a royal is because Egyptians used to actually wear these guys
Holy
as
shit.
jewelry once upon a time. And of course, the larger and more ornate the snake, the more prestigious the royalty would be. So we're going to see a couple snakes tonight. This is Basil. Again, this is a normal. They are all, Basil is very active tonight too, as you can see. So here we go.
Whoa.
All right. So we are going to see a couple of snakes tonight. They are all ball pythons. However, they are all different color variations. So up next, we have MF Doom. The MF does not stand for what you think it stands for. The MF stands for Monty Foster. Monty as in Del Monte bananas, Foster as in Foster's bananas Foster. He is a banana ball pied. I'm not sure if you can really see his markings here, but he's got these really cool white patches in his pattern. If you can see that, that is called or referred to as a ball pied. The yellow and black specks, he kind of looks like a ripe banana. That's where that comes from. Monty is our smallest ball python right now. We hope to have him up to size and hopefully breeding with Basil, who you met earlier.
Whoa.
Let's get this camera right. Okay. He's really not as big as he looks. He's an itty bitty guy. All right. So MF Doom is going to go back to where he wants. This is Elvira. Now, we named her Elvira because her two genetic color morphs are Fire and Mojave. The Fire gives her this kind of like bronzy kind of look and this brownish, and the Mojave gives her this darker ringlet pattern. And they kind of look like, oh, she's a big girl. She's heavy. Kind of look like little owl faces along her side. Let's see if we can get a look at her eye. Elvira looks incredibly vicious because she's got that really cool slit in her eye, but she's actually probably one of our most tame snakes in the collection.
Nice.
Whenever we have people over to visit and then somebody wants to hold one, this is who we introduce them to first. She's very mellow and very calm. As you can see, she's not as fidgety as the other two you saw earlier. You can see her kind of lounging.
Wow.
Thinks I'm a big old tree right now. So for our final animal, who happens to be a mammal, we have to make sure that this guy is put away. So my assistant, Sarah, is going to put Elvira back in her pen. I'm going to show you a snakeskin while she goes and gets our last animal. Cool?
Nice.
She won't let go of my hand. All right, there we go. So while she goes and gets our last animal, I thought I'd show you guys a shed snakeskin.
Oh my God.
This came from one of our bigger snakes, Gauss, who we didn't meet tonight. Maybe on another episode of Matt and Brian's Jungle Adventures, we'll introduce you to the other animals. Our next animal is a little bit more dangerous. This is Agatha.
Oh my God.
Is a hedgehog. These are normally found in the wild in Australia. This is oh wait, let's see. There you go. He's munching on a mealworm. Isn't that cool? She is a chunk. She will eat just about anything. I'm a big punk, so I use these mittens when I hold her. But as you can see, she's very calm, which is surprising. Agatha is actually very much a homebody. She does not like a whole lot of attention. She typically prefers to just be in her, and there she goes. She's better with mom than she is with me. See, she's not having it. But we thought we'd introduce you guys to Agatha.
Oh my God.
You ready to go home, Aggie? Yeah, she's ready. Yeah. So those are about half of our animals. Thank you guys for the opportunity. If you have any questions, Matt, Brian, anybody?
Yes, George. First off,
answer anything you want to know.
This is so amazing, George, and thank you. It's
Sure.
so cool that you welcome us into your home and your little menagerie there. I'm actually wondering because I think your assistant there, she was handling the hedgehog. It's a hedgehog, correct?
Correct.
Okay. I don't want to get that wrong. With her hands, what does that feel like? Is it really like painful or?
To me, it is.
Yeah.
Sarah's kind of gotten more used to her. It's like toothpicks.
Like toothpicks. Oh my God.
Yeah.
One of our cast, you'll see her a little bit later in the show. Do you consider them all pets, or do you raise them do you raise them to sell them, or?
Oh, no. These are all pets. We have 6 total ball pythons, all with different color morphs. We were originally going to try to start breeding this fall and hope for clutches in the spring.
Yeah.
But with COVID and everything going on, we thought maybe the market might not be quite so viable come spring. So we decided to hold off a year. But they are all our pets. The ones that you've met, where we have no intention of selling or getting rid of. Their offspring, yes.
Wow. And so we have a comment. Let's see, where is that from? I know it's a little bit morbid because I know everybody is wrecked whenever a pet passes, but a lifespan for the snake.
For the snakes, anywhere between 15 and 25 years.
Holy
the females
shit.
tend to, in captivity especially, the females tend to live a little bit longer than the males. And in captivity, of course, we take away a lot of the variables that would become dangerous in the wild. Food sources, temperature variations. So they tend to live longer when in captivity.
Holy cow. That I was not expecting that. Let's see if we have any other questions for George while he's here. I think it's very fascinating. Let's see. Anna Sosa loves dogs. Do any of the pets that we've seen tonight, let's see. Oh, they love ladies over guys, Anna says. Do any of your pets love Sarah over you, or love Sarah more?
Love Sarah over me. They all love Sarah over me. Sarah is very much the keeper of the menagerie.
That is crazy. Brian, do you see any more questions in the chat for George? Where are you?
No, that's about it, I think.
Oh.
Awesome. Thank you so much, George. This is so cool.
Most of the comments were just people falling in love with that last one.
Yeah, she's a cutie pie. That's our sugar spikes.
I love it. Yeah, I think let's see. Michael Yeager just said, "Be right back. Gonna go buy a hedgehog." Yeah. What if somebody does want to like buy? I think a lot of people are like, "Oh, I'll go to SPCA and get like a dog or a cat." Somebody who wants like a snake as a pet or a turtle or a hedgehog, how do they look into that?
I would definitely say do all your research.
Okay.
When looking to become an owner of any animal, do all your research. Make sure that you can genuinely give this animal a life that it deserves. Don't run out. And believe it or not, ball pythons are relatively cheap, especially for the normals. You can get a baby normal for $80 during the spring season.
Oh,
so
wow.
Impulsively, they're so pretty. They're easy to handle.
Mm-hmm.
People sometimes make decisions based on that moment as opposed to the longevity of the animal. This is an animal that, like I said, can live 15, 20, 25 years.
Right.
That's a lesson I learned when I had kids.
Yeah.
We actually have a few more comments. I think the lag is catching up to us. Alex Weller asked, do you ever let the snakes roam the house like a dog or a cat would?
No, we do try to take them out to make sure that they stay socialized and not be so fidgety and nervous when we handle them.
Okay.
As you saw, the smaller snakes, they tend to move around. They're a lot younger. The older snake, Elvira, she's a lot more mellow. She's gotten used to humans over the course of her life. The turtle we let crawl around every once in a while. And the hedgehog, we'd love to let her crawl around, but she just doesn't want to ever get out of the bed. She's a lot like me.
And I think one last question. Cheryl White, she was on the show last week, and we miss you, Cheryl. Hope you're doing well.
Hi, Cheryl.
How big will the snakes get?
Females can get anywhere but about 4 to 5 feet for ball pythons. Males like 3 to 4 feet. The males get smaller. Females have to be larger to carry eggs inside them.
Okay, and I one more because Jenny from Lemon Pepper and Sazone, I think she's hedgehog crazy now. How much does a hedgehog cost?
What do we pay for Aggie? $250? $250. We pay $250 for Agatha, and we got her from a breeder. There are only as of right now, there are only 2 breeders in Hampton Roads.
Oh wow!
And you have to get put on a waiting list. We were on a waiting list for what, 8 months, 9 months before we were able to get Aggie.
Jenny,
you gotta want it.
You gotta want it, Jenny. You gotta want it. George, this has been so cool and so unique. Once again, thank you for inviting us into your house and showing us your friends.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, give a round of applause at home for George. Yes. And stick around, George. where can we see you, or what kind of things you have going on in virtual land and otherwise, comedy and poetry and everything?
So, not unlike the Push Comedy Theater, the venue has also been closed since March, and we haven't been able to do any of our programming, none of our classes, none of that stuff. But we have been able to hold some of our classes online. If you go to any of our social media, the venue on 35th in Norfolk, you can find the links to our Zoom meetings. The open mic is every Monday at 7:30 on Zoom. And we are working on our annual haunted house, gloomhouse757.com. It's just an annual backyard haunt that me and my wife put together for the neighborhood, so the kids have somewhere fun and safe where they can go celebrate and kind of have that old school, trick-or-treat experience and walk through a backyard haunt. We accept canned food donations, which will then be donated to a local food bank. We're in our third year. First year we had roughly 100 kids. Last year we got up to about 150. This year with COVID, everything is up in the air, but we do have a COVID-19 plan in place. Social distancing in the queue lines, small groups. All of our actors will be wearing masks.
Nice.
Yeah. Gloomhouse757.com, the venue on 35th.com.
God, I love this, George. You're one of the most fascinating and lovely people I know.
Thank you so much.
Stay safe this Labor Day weekend, and thank you so much for coming on. Once again, give a big round of applause for Jorge Mendez. Yes, that was so cool. I am just very tickled. This show is awesome, and we have 3 more wonderful performers and guests to introduce you to. But right now, and I know this is tough because I think especially Jenny is like deciding, do I donate to Black Lives Matter or do I buy a hedgehog? So right now we're a little bit stuck at $55, but I have a feeling that you guys are energized by Jorge Mendez's menagerie. Mendez's menagerie. I love that. And by the way, people are calling me out because I'm not an animal person. I think I awkwardly was like, when do pets die? Are people sad when pets die? Whatever. Make fun of me. I'm fine with that. But thank you so much, George. And we're on to our next guest. But please go to streamelements.com/earprov/tip. And you will see something that looks a little bit like this. Once again, thank you, Donna Lewis and Home. Donating $15. It's going straight to Black Lives Matter Global Network. All right, so here we go. This is crazy. Again, I'm so tickled. I'm going to have Brian Garraty introduce our next guest. So get the heck on in here, Brian. Give it up for Brian Garraty, my co-host and co-producer. Look at that.
Are the animals gone? Because I don't want to be near them.
Are you allergic to hedgehogs?
No, just scared of them.
Okay. All right. Well, Brian, take it away. This is a.
All right. So we're about to introduce my dad. My dad's been playing music for 40 plus years, maybe 50 years. My dad taught at Virginia Wesleyan College / University for 40 years. Retired, and what a payoff. Since he retired, he got cancer treatment. He's healthy right now. And a global pandemic, so he could stay at home. Just what he dreamt of for his retirement years. So the least I could do was bring him on an improv live stream to allow him to perform a new song he wrote. Hopefully this makes up for all that he's missed out on so far in his retirement. But I'm super proud of him. It's a really cool song. And without any further ado, introduce my dad, Dave Garraty, and he's going to perform without a mask.
Yes, love it. Look at this. I love it. Thank you, Jenny. Thank you for being on the show, Dave.
Well, thank you, Matt. And
you look
thank
a lot,
Brian, for that.
You look a lot better than your son.
Introduction.
You need to give your son some grooming tips. All right, take it away.
Okay, I guess I should give a little background on the reason I wrote this song. Like Brian said, I recently retired last year, and first order of business, other than the cancer problem, was to get the house ready to sell so we could move. And I noticed after a while that I wasn't shaving very often, and it seemed like taking a shower wasn't all that necessary either. And that got me thinking about it, and so it kind of inspired this song. So this is called I'm Retired. I don't shave and I don't bathe. I probably smell like hell today. I don't shave and I don't bathe. That's okay, I'm retired. I got up today about 9 or 10. Nap at 2, back in bed again. Sure didn't get much done today. That's okay, I'm retired. Uncle Sam comes through each and every month. And with my 401k, I got more than enough. 50 years of working and saving too. Paid my dues, now I'm retired. Got no guarantees I'll live a while. But I'm healthy today and that's worth a smile. I don't know why I feel so good. Must be 'cause I'm retired. Now I don't shave and I don't bathe. I know I smell like hell today. I don't shave and I don't bathe. That's okay, I'm retired. That's okay, I'm retired. That's okay, I'm retired.
Yes! Oh my God, Dave, stick on with us. I'm speechless. That was so much fun. Wow.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. How long you been playing guitar and singing?
Oh, well, Brian said 50 years, more like 55, I guess. I was about 16 when I picked up the guitar for the first time.
Have you? I was joking about it. We were gonna cut our #1 single, but have you released music, been in a band, or anything like that?
A band in high school, a band in graduate school, and then a bluegrass band down in Carolina for a while. So yeah, we've been in a few bands, and being in the band and practicing it's better than therapy. I'll tell you what, it really is good.
I love it. Okay, so you wrote this original song. Are there other songs in your back pocket, in your repertoire?
Yes, there are. In fact, I got an album's worth, but I just got to get around to doing something with it.
Do you really have an entire album?
Well, I probably got 10 or 15 songs. Yeah, sure.
Listen, Dave, I need a new co-host. Brian is slacking. I need somebody with musical talent. I need a backing band. I need you to get this together.
Brian's right here. He's gonna beat me up. Don't do that.
Listen, Dave, this is so great, and when you have that album, we will plug it constantly. But thank you so much. I was waiting all night to hear this song. In soundcheck, I was like, I think you can pull it off, and you did. It was wonderful. Come back when you have another song. I was gonna say, it almost sounded like come back when you have some good. No, that was wonderful, and we want to hear the entire album next time. Thank you so much, Dave. You can put your mask back on and send Brian back in. Ladies and gentlemen, please, a big round of applause once again, Dave Garraty. Yes, thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
God, I'm so excited. Where else can you see live Reptiles and Brian Garraty's dad singing an original song? Brian, I was blown away, man.
I was blown away too, but I'd like to tell him, even if being in a band's good, don't write off therapy. It could help.
Brian, I don't know, like, did any of that talent drip down to you at all? Like,
not at all, man. Not at all. I just had to be a smartass to get any attention.
please.
I'm wearing a mask tonight, so people don't realize how much better looking my dad is than me.
Yeah, like in the chat, people blowing it up. They're like, they want your dad's phone number. Listen, that was really successful.
Do you want my dad's flip phone number?
One, I love that song, and I love that he performed it for us. Two, we got some more donations, which is lovely. We're almost halfway, and I think that's great. Almost halfway is good. Teresa Percival, thank you so much. She's a lovely person from the Push Comedy Theater. $25. Jenny actually took 25 out of the 250 that she has to save up for Hedgehog to donate towards Black Lives Matter. I love it.
Next month we'll raise money for Jenny's Hedgehog.
Also, Anonymous. Hey, we'll take it. $50. That's a high donation for tonight. Thank you, whoever you are. And then here comes the fan club. Dave Garraty fan 420 donated $10. Love it. Aaron
It's
Lindstrom.
hard to believe that 1 through 419 were taken.
Aaron Lindstrom, one of our good friends, and again, a performer of the Push Comedy Theater. We miss you so much. And she donated $10. She said, yes, Dave, yes. Michael Yeager liked the stream. Thank you so much. And Day Day from also Lemon Pepper donated $10. Thank you guys. It's going to a really great cause. We believe in it. I don't know. I would end the night right now. I think I could die happy, Brian. But I know that we have 2 more performers that are going to blow you guys away at home. You ready, Brian?
Yeah, I'm going to duck out and let you introduce the next act.
Awesome. Here we go. All right. Speaking of Lemon Pepper and Sazone, next up is Jordan Burton. And I'll tell you a little bit about Jordan. First off, he's a teacher, a foodie, and a comedian with a spunky personality who's always down to have a good time and look good while doing it. He's going to pull up his video in just a little bit. He's a regular at the Push Comedy Theater and performs with his sketch and improv comedy group Lemon Pepper and Says Zone Comedy. You can check him out on Instagram at Sonic Jeb Eats. This guy is hilarious. You're gonna love him. Ladies and gentlemen, Jordan Burton.
Hello everybody. Hello.
Jordan,
Okay,
you look great
so-
tonight. I know that you're really into fashion. What kind of shirt do you have on tonight? Who's on it?
Oh, this is a little ensemble that I got from Rue 21 a few years ago.
Nice.
Off the clearance rack, because we ain't had bands like that back then. So if y'all are familiar with the rapper Designer, it's based off of his song Panda, and my sweatpants actually match, but you cannot see right now.
Wait, Jordan, why not?
Oh, you want me to stand up and show you the sweatpants? Okay,
Yes.
hold on. Let me put it in the camera. Hold on, can you? Wait, okay. Can you see the panda on the sweatpants?
Yes. Oh my God.
Okay, there we go. The whole
There we go.
outfit cost me a total of $7. So shout out to Rue 21.
All right, Jordan, take it away. Once again, Jordan Burton. Yes.
Okay, so first of all, I want to say shout out to my friend Montrell White out in Richmond. I honestly didn't know what I was going to talk about until last night when I was on a FaceTime with him. It was about midnight, and I said, "Oh yeah, I'm doing the show tomorrow. I should probably get something together." So I kind of talked with him through it. So shout out to Mr. Montrell White. So to prelude my stories, I'm going to say I've been a teacher. I've been in education since 2012. I've taught public school, private school. I've taught, preschool, elementary school, middle school, high school. I've taught summer camps. I've kind of done it all over the span of my education career. And, with COVID going on, just the whole teaching profession has been kind of going through a shift. We're learning different techniques. I'm learning about 16 different ways to deliver lessons virtually. School starts on Tuesday, and I've made a whopping total of 0 virtual lesson plans yet, but they are coming. So, in case any of the administration team at the place I currently work at, it's going to be right on Tuesday, I promise. So, really quick, I have a few stories that I've encountered in my previous, teaching career. They're inspired, actually. So I'm actually going to duck out the way and show you my little Law and Order disclaimer where it says the following story or stories is fictional and does not depict any actual person or event. All right. So now that the CYA is out of the way, let me go ahead and get into the stories.
Uh-oh.
So I had actually taken a personal day off work to see popular artist Tori Kelly. So shout out to Mr. Dave Garraty with the guitar singing moment. We love to see it. So not only was I going to see Tori Kelly, but I spent the money to meet Tori Kelly. So my outfit had to be cute. So it was April. So I know it wasn't cold, but I know it was also not warm enough for me to be wearing the outfit I had on. I had on these really short shorts, burgundy. I had on a blue short sleeve button-up shirt. It had burgundy flowers to match, and my Vans were also blue and burgundy. This was my first time wearing the shoes. They were really tight. It was a whole fool. But anyways, it was raining that day. So it was like warmish. Then it started raining. So we're in line. I'm in line. And so my outfit gets a little bit wet. And we go inside the Norva because they take all the people to get ready for the meet and greet for Tori Kelly. Now, I had just gotten over a stomach bug, or so I thought I did. Quick sidebar. The stomach bug actually ended up being a parasite, but that's a whole nother story for a whole nother time. I'm not going to talk about that on the live stream. So let's bring it back to the main story. So I had just gotten over what I thought was a stomach bug, but was actually a parasite. And so I'm wet. I'm inside of the Norva, and the Norva actually, what I didn't realize is they turn their air conditioning all the way down because when you have a concert full of people, it generates a lot of heat. So there weren't a lot of people in there. It was really cold. I have on this really tight, really short outfit. And I meet Tori Kelly. I mean, the picture looks cute, but as a result, I had gotten a cold. So I had gotten a cold on top of having a stomach parasite issue. It was actually kind of gross. And so what happened was I was really sick, but I was like, the next day I had woke up and I was like, oh my God, like I'm sick. But like I already took a day off yesterday to go to a concert. I don't want to take a second day off. So let me just go to work. And what had happened was overnight, I had a post-nasal drip into my stomach and still had this stomach condition. But, it was just a whole lot of things that went wrong. So I'm at my first class. I feel fine, the first 30 minutes. I tell the class what to do. I tell them, okay, we're going to transition from the desk over to the computer lab. And I had one student ask me a question. And so I go over there to help the student. And I'm like, what do you need, sweetie? Is everything okay? And in the middle of her asking my question, I don't know what happened, but I feel something come up my stomach, out my throat. And I only had like a split second. I scooted the chair back and I was able to tilt my head and throw up into the garbage can in front of all of my students that day. And allegedly, there was somebody who I don't know how or why, but they just so happened to be recording that day. And that video made the rounds around said school on Snapchat. No. So on my way out of the building, everybody was saying, we just saw you throw up. But, that was the end of that story. So that was one story. So let me transition into a smooth another one. So I am, how old am I? Like, I'm like 20, 21. So I am working my first long-term sub position, and I'm gonna say it again, allegedly. So imagine this story because it's not necessarily true. Back to the disclaimer. So I am 20, young thing, very excited to work in the classroom, all that good stuff. I'm gonna be, leading this young group of students. So first class goes absolutely well. Second class, it was okay. We get to the last class of the day. And the last class, they were really rowdy, they were loud. It could be attributed to a lot of different things. It's my first day taking over where they didn't really have somebody in charge of the class. So, there were some behavioral issues going on. And actually, if we rewind back to that day, somebody had told me, they were like, okay, so for that last class that you're going to be in charge of, here's how you're going to be able to contact security. And I said, oh, don't worry. It's my first day. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to have to use that at all. And it was like a foreshadow. So what happened was I'm trying to calm this class down. And one of these students, and I'm going to throw allegedly in there again, stands up, turns around, and screams at the top of their lungs, shut the hell up to the rest of the students. And then it was like another student just said, hey, no, you shut up.
What?
And then the student sat down, but the student got back up. And when I tell you, they swung back with all of their mights and swung into the desk and hit their head as hard as they could. Came back up and repeated the process until their head busted open and started bleeding.
What?
And then after that, they let out a loud scream, walked out very calmly, kicked the trash can over, and proceeded to leave the room. And when I tell you, like, that experience, like, because it was probably one of my very first experiences working in a school, when I tell you that experience kind of broke my spirit, and I cried over my steering wheel that day. And I don't cry that often, but I was crying over my steering wheel that day. It was a whole fool. There was just a lot going on. And so I'm gonna wrap it up with one more story. So let's say that there's a cell phone policy, and the cell phone policy is kind of ambiguous. You can have your cell phone, yes, but you can't have it out during the school day using it for non-instructional purposes, etc., etc. So what happens is, if you have a cell phone and somebody else takes said cell phone, or you lose said cell phone, there's not really a whole lot that can be done. And what had happened is a cell phone was taken, and they're telling me, hey, I think somebody stole my cell phone. And I'm saying, I don't know, maybe did you double check, make sure you didn't lose it? And I'm saying, like, the best I can do is, file a report, let security know. But ultimately, like, I feel like all security is going to say is, there's not much they can do about your cell phone being taken, because technically via the policy, you're not supposed to have it out anyway, yada, 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 et cetera, et cetera. And so after I explained that, it was just very, it was very eerie, because there was like 15 seconds of silence. And I mean, from the whole class, because I guess the whole class was like being nosy and listening to the conversation. And so the student starts laughing, hysterically. And they're laughing hysterically, and it turns into the student getting up, and the student was like tears down their face. So they're like crying. So the laughing is turning into crying. And then before I know it, the student takes off their glasses and they beam it at me. Whoa. But I had the matrix like reflexes, because I was young then, and so I dipped out the way, and the glasses flew past me and hit the chalkboard. Then before I can even process what's going on, the student takes off their shoe and throws it at me again. But again, it was a miss. It slid and hit a stack of calculators. Then lastly, they started screaming, and I kid you not, allegedly, they take their shirt and start ripping it all the way down. What? Like Bruce Banner. And then, and I was like, this student allegedly was really skinny, very short, very skinny, but I don't know how they got the strength to pick up one of those industrial, those science experiment desks, like those real heavy ones. Yeah. They kind of big, with this little small child picked up the desk, okay, had it over their head. What? It was really, they were about to throw it at me. And, I had to run all the way to the back of the classroom. I had to tell all the other kids, run out. And honestly, it was just, what happened was after, they tossed that desk, they just started crying and bawling. And the security guards had to come in and do their thing and escort the student out. That was also another day where I had to go cry in the car for a quick second, to get myself and my spirits together. And so, I always get, because I've been working for a long time, I always get questions, because right now, being like 7 years into the game, and I'm very calm, I'm collected. I have not cried on the steering wheel since those incidents occurred. They say, how are you always so calm? How do you always, do so well at your job and all that good things? And I always say two things. I say, you need to get yourself a therapist, and you also need to get yourself a journal. And you also, my suggestion would be, once you're done with work, go ahead and leave it at work, which that third part, I don't know how we're going to do in a virtual pandemic. However, those are my stories, my inspired stories from my teaching experience, alleged stories that don't depict any real person or event. So thank you for listening to my story, y'all.
Yes, Jordan. I knew Jordan would be perfect for this show, because he has all these alleged stories that I personally heard the Parasite one. I think that was like one of the first few times I had met Jordan, and it was sick. It was sick. But again, this is all alleged, right, Jordan?
It was alleged. I remember. I think I told that story when we were learning how to do a monologue in Improv 101.
Yes.
And the story is wild, and it's not going to be told over a live stream that's recorded. Call me or text me if you want to know that story. Okay.
Jordan, you're always a delight. And I know that you're in a group, which you guys do your own live streams as well. Very successful. Lemon Pepper and Sazone. We featured you on Earprov. I think one of the very first live streams that we had, and we're huge fans of you guys. Do you guys have any shows coming up, or do you have anything you want to plug or talk about?
Yes, so let's plug it. Shout out to Lemon Pepper and Sazone.
Yes.
I know they're on the live stream watching.
Yes.
I love you all. We're taking a break for September, getting back into the new season. I'm teaching and whatnot. However, in October, we will be doing a live stream. It's going to be hosted by myself and Troy Vincent. Shout out to P-Town's finest, he's going to be helping me host the show in October. Also, I want to, we got to talk, we got to get some stuff together because we're supposed to be collaborating on a podcast.
Yes.
A new Go On podcast coming soon. So, I'm going to keep those details under wraps, but just please be on the lookout for that.
Yeah.
I will be the main host of that, and we will have some co-hosts and guests, and we're going to talk about some fun stuff there. So I'm very excited about that. Follow us on Instagram at LPS Comedy 757 on Instagram, Lemon Pepper and Sazone Comedy. Make sure there's an accent over the O, as per Miss Margarita, before she get that chonkla. On Facebook, and yeah, that's the plug.
I love it, Jordan. I love it. And by the way, I've screwed up the name Sazone so many times, and I thought I got it, and then I didn't get it. Here's how I think of it, and I hope I think of the word calzone, and that just helps me. Sazone, and I get it as close as I can. I think Margarita is actually really good at pronouncing it. I'm not. But I love you guys. I love all your comedy. I love the live streams that you do. They get crazy. And speaking of Margarita, she gets drunk on a lot of these. You might kill Margarita at some point.
I'd be so sad for her liver. She will be getting toe up on Halloween. Hey, girl.
Yeah, and we saw Donna Lewis, one of the founders of Lemon Pepper. She's in the live stream. Shout out to her. We want to get you on the show, Donna, on this show. Real funny. And thank you, Jordan. You are lovely. We have some wonderful donations from Dave Garraty's son. I think that guy's name is Brian. Oh, and one more time, a round of applause for Jordan. See ya, Jordan. And a round of applause for Dave Garraty's son, $25. Anna and Bobby, my roommates, you guys are lovely. I want you on the show as well. $25. They say thank you to teachers like Jordan. I agree. And remember, all those stories are alleged. We want to keep Jordan teaching, so alleged. And then it showed up as Earprov, but I sent in $25. I think I'm going to be sending in some more because we are halfway, but we only have one more guest. And I do want to get as close to our goal as possible of $500. I know that is probably ambitious, but once again, this is for a really good cause. You can help us out, though, by sharing the stream. We have one last performer, one last guest, and she is going to bring the house down. She's just so fun and funny and talented. So share the stream, like it so people see it wherever you're watching it. So I guess thank you to me. And then Day also of Lemon Pepper shared the stream or liked the stream. Thank you. Brian, Brian, are you live? Are you out there?
I'm alive.
Oh, thank God. How's it going at the end? Are you ready for our final performer?
Yeah, I had to leave my house temporarily to get away so there'd be enough room in the house for my dad's ego after all the comments. But I'm back.
I hope like all your relatives and stuff are watching him and like cheering him on.
Oh, they're going crazy. It's a big night in Garraty land.
So, little known fact, you know that I play the guitar, and I'm nowhere near as good as even your dad. I think he's amazing. I play the guitar. I get a little bit of talent from my uncle. His name is Larry Gilpin in West Virginia, in Bluefield, West Virginia. And he's actually like
a Spoons artist.
No, he's kind of like a country western like hit in Bluefield, West Virginia.
I remember this. Yeah, I remember this.
Anyways, I will shut up and I'll get to our final performer. Thank you, Brian. You can go eat some ice cream or whatever you do. Listen, thank you guys once more. Whoever you can share this stream with, get them on here and get them to donate at streamelements.com/earprov/tip. All right, here we go. Oh my God, I can't wait for this. It's probably really dark in her house right now, but there she is. She's a rock star. Ladies and gentlemen, your next guest is going to be Molly Graham. She's an improv comedian, a candle maker of Low Blow Candle Co., and podcaster in Norfolk, Virginia. She has trained in sketch and improv comedy at the Push Comedy Theater on Granby Street in Norfolk, Virginia. Her podcast, actually my podcast, she just hosts, How Embarrassing with Molly and Jeff, can be found wherever you listen to podcasts. Follow at How Embarrassing Podcast and give it a listen. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Molly Graham. Molly, you look great.
Can people see me? Because all I see is a black screen with your name on it.
Yeah, no, people can. Is that all you see?
Yeah, that's all I see.
Yeah, no, people can see you, and people can see your room.
I have several grievances to air.
Yeah, you've waited this whole. You've been in the chat like blowing it up. Do you want to start from the very beginning with Brian Garraty's story?
No. I want to start from. You told me that each performer only gets 5 minutes.
Okay, Molly, are you going to quibble about this? Like, this is not a good look.
We were told we would get 5 minutes.
I'm starting her timer right now.
Yeah, deduct a minute.
I paced my drinking off of the 5-minute markers.
This is one of the reasons. And this is a legitimate conversation Brian and I had. It was like, okay, we want Molly to end the show, but is she going to be sober enough to do it?
First of all, that's insulting. Second of all, valid. My second grievance is that Brian Garraty did not see a shark. It was probably a stingray or a skate.
Yeah, I told him. I told him.
You
that
don't
too.
know. You weren't there.
Okay, I guess I don't know. I wasn't there. Anyway,
any other grievances?
Honestly, everything else, I feel like I'll just let it go.
Well, I think this matches your theme and your piece, which I can read in the background. You are going to be brutally honest. So take it away, Molly. Give a round of applause and donate.
Everybody. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Brutally Honest with Molly. That's me. All right, everybody. So I have been collecting advice questions that I can answer during my time here on the Real Funny performance. So I'm just going to go ahead and dive right in the questions. I have had a couple beers. I'm going to keep drinking. I am sponsored by Dogfish Head Sequench Ale. Copyright, trademark, whatever. And I'm going to get right into asking my questions. I have millions of fans and followers who are following along on Facebook. So Brian, if you could monitor the chat, I'm sure I'm going to get tons and tons of questions pouring in from all my fans.
Yeah, 19 of your million fans are watching right now.
Yeah, exactly. So it's pretty overwhelming for you. But let's get to it. The first question, Dear Molly, how do I lose 10 pounds in 6 days?
What the fuck?
And that's a tough one, but I would say probably what I would do if I had to lose 10 pounds in 6 days, I would cut off a hand or a foot. I don't know what's heavier, but I would go for one of those.
It probably depends. Like Brian Garraty, it would probably be his foot because his hands are not very big.
Yeah, absolutely. Tiny hands. Okay, the next one is, how do I get my dog to stop chewing couch pillows? And the other one, I'd say these are a couple of questions, because the other one is, how do I get my dog to stop puking in the car? And this might be controversial, but I would say shoot your dog in the head.
What? What?
Your dog will not chew your couch cushions. Your dog will not puke in the car if you kill your dog. So I would say that's probably your best option. I don't know if PETA would agree, but that I think would be like your get rich quick way to, you know, get your dog to stop ruining your life. Okay, another one. This is a good one. Dear Molly, is having abs worth it? Okay, I have a couple of answers for this. Having abs is not worth it if you're a woman, but worth it if you're a dude. I know that's sexist, but I just feel like having abs on a dude is pretty cool. But a woman, no one really gives a shit. You're still gonna be able to get it if you know what I mean. So
this is brutal, Molly. This is brutal.
Brutal honesty. Oh, actually, here is a really groundbreaking one. Dear Molly, should I cut my toenails rounded or straight across? A lot of people don't know this, but actually you should do straight across. Yeah. If you go rounded, you are more likely to get an ingrown toenail, which is one of my biggest fears. Ingrown toenails are really gross, and I don't like it.
Brutal.
Yeah. So do we have audience questions? I have more questions that I have, but I feel like it'll be more interactive if we take audience questions.
We have some interesting questions if you want to hear them.
Yeah, I'm ready to hear them.
Okay, Derek Munn hasn't chimed in yet, and he asks, what's the best piece of advice in pacing your alcohol consumption?
Okay, so the thing about drinking is that if you start in the day, it's going to be really bad by the evening. You gotta pace yourself. So what I like to do is play a prank on myself. What you gotta do is get some LaCroix. They are carbonated water. And so what you do is you drink your little like fun beverage. You drink a LaCroix. You're still drinking it like it's alcohol, but it isn't. And then next thing you know, you're the queen of the party and you can live forever. So.
Okay. Man, you're getting brutal. The more you drink, you just get brutaler and brutaler.
Yeah, I'm really brutal about alcohol pacing.
I don't know what this means. Maybe you can field it, Molly. Nina asks, do you put it in the long ways or the other way?
Okay, here's the thing about Nina. So Nina is one of my best friends.
Okay.
She is married to a woman. Okay. So I feel like she's trying to make like a sex joke, but she doesn't know how to. So I'm gonna pass on that, Nina.
Oh yeah, good try, Nina.
Good try, loser.
Okay. Let's see. Eva, I think we heard from her a little bit earlier. What weather tracker do you use and recommend for watching radar?
Okay, so I use Weather Underground. That app has like the radar screen. It has your hour by hour breakdown. It has your 10-day forecast. It really has everything you're looking for. And that is where I am able to watch the weather and make my famous going around us predictions about every rainstorm.
That's fucking brutal. Sarah Ashley
brutal.
Sarah Ashley D'Angelo asks a good question. I think you'll be able to answer this one pretty well. What is the difference between environmental studies and environmental science?
Yes, the big difference is knowledge. So I have an environmental studies degree, which is basically a degree they give to burnout stoners who don't want to do any science or math. Environmental science is a little bit more like legitimate. You have to take like chemistry and other science courses. So environmental science is a science degree. Environmental studies is a liberal arts degree. And that's what your girl has.
So which one would you recommend to go for though? Like what if I went back to college?
Environmental studies, because most of the time people don't know the difference, and I got to have a lot more fun in college than science majors.
I kind of wish I knew you in college, Molly. Like I think it would have been a blast.
Honestly, you don't. I gotta say, me between the ages of 17 and 24 was a monster. Terrible person, not great to be around.
Okay, we have time for a few more questions. We are timing you, Molly.
Gosh, I was going to say, I feel like my 5 minutes is probably up.
No. How do you make passive income? Not you specifically, but Jenny asks, how do I make passive income?
I'm going to need to know what passive income is.
Wait, you mean like legitimately?
Yeah, like as a... active. I'm dumb. I'm an environmental studies major. I don't know this shit. What's a passive income?
I know what I'm getting you for Christmas. Rich dad, poor dad.
Is that just money that you get?
Yeah.
It's money that you earn without doing anything.
Oh. Well, unfortunately for me, I've had to work 3 jobs basically my entire life. Well, not my entire life. Since college. I've worked at least 3 jobs at a time, so...
Sounds like you could use some passive income.
I could use some passive... So if anyone out there wants to passively income me, let me know, because I'm sick of work. When I was in high school, I sold produce out of a truck on the side of a highway.
Okay, so for passive income, you could buy a bunch of trucks, fill them with produce, and leave them by the side of the road with the honor system.
Oh my god!
Now do you understand?
I remember my mom and my sister just brought me Chipotle to the side of the road stand. They were like, "Here, sorry you have to work."
That's a passive burrito.
Right? And the worst part about it was I was making commission off of every fruit I sold. So I would sit for 12 hours and make like $30.
Okay, unless you have more questions, Molly, we have one more. It's from your good friend Nina. We just have to go back to her. Thank you so much, Nina.
Honestly, what the hell does Nina want from me?
I think you already mentioned a burrito. She said, "What do you do if you get hit by a flying burrito?"
Okay, if you get hit by a flying burrito, you fall to the ground.
What?
And you yell, "I've been shot."
What?
You fake a seizure, and you file a complaint with the gas station.
Did you do that, Molly?
No.
Did somebody you know do that?
Nope, it just came to me off the top of my head.
How do you know what a flying burrito is, but you don't know what passive income is?
Well, sometimes you live a life where you don't ever get to experience passive income, but you have been hit by a flying burrito.
Okay, fair enough. That was brutal.
That was brutal.
Yeah. Welcome to Brutally Honest with Molly. I didn't have time to pay for the band to write my theme song.
Okay, give it up for Molly Graham and Brutally Honest.
Thank you.
I just love this and thank you, Molly.
Do you want me to turn my video off?
No, not yet. You can keep it up.
Oh, okay.
We want to talk about what you're doing in the pandemic and yada yada, but I do have to say that tonight we've had all kinds of crazy stuff, and your piece was so like simple but brutally honest and so fun, and I thank you so much. Everything you do, Brian and I are in awe of you. Where can we check you out?
Yeah, so I'm so glad you asked. I am the proud CEO of Low Blow Candle Co. It's a candle making company that I run out of my apartment. My boyfriend does want to kill himself. And I also host a podcast with my best friends in the entire world,
That's true.
producer Matt Cole and little Jeff Ballou. It's called How Embarrassing with Molly and Jeff, where we talk about all of our embarrassing stories. I have a feeling this show might be my next story. I did not prepare as well as I thought I did, and so here we are. But luckily, also, I did go last in the show, so I feel like probably no one is watching.
Yeah, there's only 2 people watching.
Cool. It's just Nina.
It's just Nina. Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, and once again, check out How Embarrassing Podcast. We have an episode coming up, which is not to say anything bad about our previous guest, but this is probably one of our best episodes with a guy from a lot of podcasts. What was the guy's name?
It's so Holden McNeely. He is my co-host Jeff is a huge fan of his. He does a lot of stuff with the Last Podcast Network, which is a big podcasting network, and we have a episode with him coming out Wednesday. And it honestly, like, I felt like when we ended that episode, we could have talked to him for 2 more hours. He really was a great guest, and I'm so excited about it.
Well, thank you, Molly, and you can stay up because this is the end of the show. And everybody else, if you're still on, come on, show your videos. Give a big round of applause at home for George, Dave Garraty, Jordan, and Trip. Did we lose Trip? There's Trip. Yes. This was such a fun show. I know we went a little bit long tonight, but this was so cool. And we had no idea what these guys were going to do except for the pitch me on Wednesday. You know, George was just like, hey, I got some animals. You want to see them? Yes. And Molly was just like, hey, I'm going to give advice. And we're like, yes. So this is a fantastic show. We raised, so far, unless there's some generous angel donations in just a little bit, so far we raised $330 to the Black Lives Matter Global Network. Yes. So thank you. We're going to wrap this up in just a little bit. We're also, Brian, going to send out the link to this Zoom room. If you want to stop by and congratulate us, we're going to have an after party since we're starved for attention. And you can come on by and drink with us. We'll be probably up till 2 a.m. drinking. And I know Brian's telling me to wrap it up. We went a little long tonight, but I had so much fun. So much fun. Check out all of our other live streams every Friday night at 8 p.m. You can go to earprov.com and we simulcast, which I think is kind of cool, on YouTube, on Facebook Live, and Twitch. Tell your friends. Next week we have I don't know the cast yet, but next week we actually have.
I feel like now you don't have to be shy. You can ask me back next week.
Okay. Molly, will you come back next week, please?
Oh my God. Yes, I'll do it.
So next week we have Drunk Prov, the drunkest show on earth, once again at 8 p.m. And there's Molly in the center there. We have a lot of fun. We play Whose Line Is It Anyway style short form games based off your suggestions. It's one of our drunkest and most successful shows. We raise a lot of money for the Push Comedy Theater. We're so happy to be able to bring this to you once again. Brian and I do this for 2 reasons: to highlight talent in Hampton Roads, Virginia, and second, to raise money either for great causes like Black Lives Matter or for the Push Comedy Theater. And we did a hell of a job. Thank you guys so much tonight. Once again, I'm going to wrap up. Once again, thank you so much to George, Brian and Dave Garraty, Trip, and Jordan and Molly. We will see you next week. Thank you guys so much. Bye.